Ladies and gentlemen, it is extremely, extremely interesting, important, and vital that you understand 2 or 3 major points regarding this nonsense about Trump's phone conversation. They won't even allow him to be president. So cash flows to Clinton Foundation amid Russian uranium deal. Uranium One executives actually donate cash to the Clinton Foundation because they can't stuff it inside the pockets of the Golden Moo, who, by the way, Madam Cyberhack is running again. Okay, like I've stated for 2 years. But the Clinton Foundation was an overt pay-to-play scheme. That's obvious. You had money flowing into the Clinton Foundation from Uranium One. This is a New York Times article, cash flow to Clinton Foundation amid Russian uranium deal. This is verbatim article. Okay, by, I believe, Mike McIntyre and Joe Becker. And that was in 2015. Why did Uranium One give the money? That's the question. Why? Why? For their health? Now we have the issue of weapons deals. Okay. David Sirota broke the story with Andrew Perez in the International Business Times. Countries that gave the Clinton Foundation money miraculously got weapons deals that were exponentially greater than even President Bush's administration. Why do you think that happened? Then there's a UBS deal. UBS was in hot water with the IRS, gave Bill Clinton a speaking fee, donated money to the foundation, and then, miraculously, God intervened, and so did Hillary Clinton, and suddenly, instead of like thousands and thousands of names, the U.S. got only only 5,000 or 6,000 or something like that, 4,000 names, as opposed to tens of thousands of names of accounts from UBS. Anyway, that's just Haiti, $10 billion. Where did that money go? We can go 85 donors giving $156 million, and then those 85 people, the rebuttal from certain journalists was, well, she met with more people. What? How is that a rebuttal? 85 donors gave $156 million. This is an Associated Press. I just mentioned the New York Times, the Associated Press, the International Business Times. I am not making things up. And so when it comes to overt, 85 donors gave $156 million, 20 of whom gave like over $1 million, something like that, around $1 million. Okay, they ended up meeting with Secretary of State Clinton. Okay, that was a payment to meet. You can't shove dollar bills into Bill's, make it rain. You can't that's not how he works. Bill Clinton doesn't work that way. That's not how Madam Cyberhack works either. That's why she had private servers. But it's very, very important. 3 things you have to remember. Ukrainian government reportedly didn't know about Trump's aid freeze until a month after the call. Number 1, there was already an ongoing investigation into the Justice Department was investigating the fact that $1 billion, and this is bizarre because The Intercept is a great publication, but they're all in on defending the Democratic Party narrative. I have no clue why. They're like, it's ridiculous. Why would Biden, no, there's no evidence. Yeah, there is evidence. There's absolutely evidence. He's on video saying, you're not going to, even if that prosecutor Shokin deserved to be let go or fired. I don't understand The Intercept's, focus on this. It's irrelevant whether he deserved or didn't deserve to be fired. The only thing that's relevant is the fact that Joe Biden was bragging about firing this prosecutor, and the prosecutor was investigating the company that his son was a board member of, and $3 million was funneled to his son through different countries. The conflict of interest is there. It's the conflict of interest that's the issue, along with the fact that he's strong-armed and he did exactly what they're accusing Trump of doing, which, by the way, number one, the Ukrainian government reportedly didn't know about Trump's aid freeze until a month after the call. That is the Daily Caller. I'll read that in a moment. But then, Ukrainian efforts to sabotage Trump backfire. Kiev officials are scrambling to make amends with the president-elect after quietly working to boost Clinton. This is Kenneth P. Vogel and David Stern. Now, Kenneth Vogel is a brilliant journalist. He's a brilliant journalist. I've just always had a great deal of respect for Kenneth Vogel and David Stern. Kenneth Vogel he broke the story about Clinton taking, 98%, 98.5% over that of down-ticket Democrat money. It was like $80 million. She basically pocketed most of it. The DNC raised all this money and then funneled it into the Clinton campaign. Donna Brazile backed up Kenneth Vogel's journalism and writing when she wrote, there was a secret agreement. She's running again. I'll be the only person in media, the only person on YouTube who has stated this for 2 years. So I'll be vindicated beyond belief. But not just that, everything I've ever said about the left, liberals, Democrats, many progressives, some of whom don't like me, the ones who say, Medicare for all, vote for Hillary. And they'll do that again. And they'll lose again. Clinton's going to lose to Trump. So I will have predicted 2 elections in a row. But anyway, in the Hill, the Huffington Post, and Salon, I said Clinton couldn't win. I said she was unelectable. She didn't win. She will not win in 2020, but it has nothing to do with electability. She'll run in 2024. What are you talking about? This is just in 2028, 2032, it can go on and on. But Ukrainian efforts to sabotage Trump backfire. Kiev officials are scrambling to make amends with. This was January of 2017, long before the narrative that said, Then you have a really, really interesting article where President Zelensky defends President Trump. Okay? And all of this is where he says he was not what is exact? Okay, so nobody. Okay, so, oh my Lord. All right, so I'll get the actual article, but he is on record as saying he was not pressured by Trump. Okay, not pressured by Trump. That was a couple days ago. Says interview. Ukraine's Poroshenko says he felt no pressure from Trump. Zelensky denies being pressured. Okay, so this is so Poroshenko and Zelensky both denied being pressured. So then what do you have? William Barr is going to essentially give all of this information to Senate Republicans to ensure that once, because I do think that impeachment is almost certainly inevitable. I'm not 100% certain about whether they impeach Trump. I think that they will. But I am certain that Clinton's going to run again. But Ukrainian president denies being pressured. Okay. So where's the problem here? They denied being pressured. They didn't know that money was being halted until a month after the call. And there's already evidence that Ukraine, that DNC worked with Ukrainian officials. Ukrainian government officials tried to help Hillary Clinton and undermine Trump by publicly questioning his fitness for office. They also disseminated documents implicating a top Trump aide in corruption and suggested they were investigating the matter, only to back away after the election. And they helped Clinton allies research damaging information on Trump and his advisors. A Politico investigation found. A Ukrainian-American operative who was consulting for the Democratic National Committee met with top officials in the Ukrainian embassy in Washington in an effort to expose ties between Trump campaign aide, Paul Manafort, and Russia. So this is Kenneth P. Vogel's. He's a fantastic and brilliant journalist. He's awesome. Okay, He's one of the few honest, genuine journalists in the mainstream, and he's now. This was in Politico. I believe he's now in the New York Times. So, I mean, look, and this, by the way, is like probably one tenth of what John Durham and William Barr and Giuliani have. The Democrats, they hit what, 4 countries helped them? Ukraine, the UK, Russian government officials, one Russian intelligence official helped Christopher Steele, a UK MI6 agent, compile a dossier that the United States used. Really? You had to find this. This is nonsense. And I'm telling you, look, Clinton. This is one of the reasons Clinton will not win. The main reason being the economy's too good. You can go to the St. Louis Fed and you can see the chart. There's the unemployment rate for Hispanic and Latino men is 3.1%. That's below the national average of 3.7%. You're talking about record low Black and Latino unemployment. You're talking about record low unemployment for women. These are the core constituencies of the Democratic Party. The economy is good. It's not perfect. Foreign policy is not perfect, but foreign policy is a lot better than it was under President Obama. Just ask the people of Libya and other countries. President Obama, in many ways, was an extension of the Bush administration. Trump stopped. Well, let's put it this way: Trump has tried to reverse course, or has been successful in reversing course on a lot of that, especially bringing détente and the beginning of peace between North and South Korea. The beginning of. People say, people want to be like, snarky, and the beginning of. But here, the Daily Caller, Ukrainian government reportedly didn't know about Trump's aid freeze until a month after the call. Okay, the Ukrainian government reportedly did not know that Donald Trump, froze military aid to the country until a month after the phone call. The Ukrainian government reportedly did not know that President Donald Trump froze military aid to the country until a month after the phone call. Okay. That the detail was first reported Monday in the New York Times, but went relatively unnoticed until after the release of the July 25th call transcript. Mr. Trust. Okay, so Mr. Trump did not discuss. Okay, so did not discuss a delay in the military assistance on the July 25th call with Zelensky, Ukrainian officials said Mr. Zelensky's government did not learn of the delay until a month after the call. So what's the problem here? What's the problem here? You have a situation where it's like how can you engage in a quid pro quo when there's no he didn't know that military assistance was delayed until a month after the phone call. The whole point in the phone call is that Zelensky was supposed to be, oh my God, this president is strong-arming me and preventing military aid until we investigate his political rival. Well, that didn't happen because he didn't know the military aid was being delayed until after the phone call. And mind you, this is military aid that President Obama did not give the Ukraine. Then you have the issue of Zelensky and Poroshenko both saying they were not pressured. Then you have the the issue right here of in January 2017, Ukrainian efforts to sabotage Trump backfire. So, I mean, it's right. It's right there, ladies and gentlemen. The evidence that William Barr has is a lot more, a lot more than this. William Barr, John Durham are looking at Mifsud in Rome. They've gone to Italy. They're looking at, there's a renewed Clinton email investigation. They're investigating the Ukraine and Biden's possible criminal activity. So there's a lot of things going on that none of this is good for the Democratic Party, but it's enough smoke. There's enough. With the Russia investigation, they have no more. They're running on fumes. They're running on fumes. So they were completely mortified. And now they go to this phone call. Both presidents deny any pressure from Trump. They didn't even know that military aid was being withheld. And there's a mountain of evidence saying that the DNC and Democrats worked to try to influence Ukrainian officials to go after Trump and Manafort. There's no way they can convict President Trump on anything in the Senate. Not that they would, but there's no way they can, because the Justice Department would give them all this information. William Barr would give them all this information. Give me your thoughts below. Check out H.A. Goodman's other channel right now. Thank you so very, very much. This is an important segment, ladies and gentlemen. And it's happening, people. Everything that I've said is happening. Give me your thoughts. Thank you.